Very good morning to everyone. Okay, so today this is Dr. Firdaus. Today we're going to have a very mind-blowing session. This session is going to be extremely informative comparatively from yesterday. Yesterday was even very good, and today the every of the single listeners is going to have a clear picture on what we're going to do today, and this is going to be extremely good information for every single one of you, because everybody wants to be very healthy, but are we doing the right thing? Okay, so this is what we're going to do today, and please stay put in your place, have your coffee, and make sure you all are ready for the session. Before that, always subscribe the channel, okay? And all is muted. Only the co-host can unmute yourself. Co-host, please take care of the back-end operation. All right. Today, what we're going to talk about flour. Flour is something that is extremely, people love flour, and we do not really enlighten, or we not know the truth about how dangerous is the flour for current situation. And this is what when everybody is eating every day, and this is so dangerous. Okay. And we have the best platform, the DXN, to take care of it. So today what we're going to learn, what we're going to know, and what we're going to discuss is what is refined flour is all about, and where did the mistake happen, and also what is the health effect towards the current flour which you are taking. All right. So this is going to be the whole session that we're going to discuss, and also the better, healthier alternative that you can do or you can use. Okay, because people find very difficult to change the habit of eating. Okay, because it's something that we've been using or used very effectively. Okay, it is already in our gene or in our mind that we cannot take this off. Okay, refined flour is highly processed. Highly processed. Why do have to process this? Why do they have to process this? Because they want to make it more tastier, and also the storage is going to be more efficient. And this is good for people who is involved in flour business. This is the whole purpose of bleaching the flour. You see, this is how the flour was look like. The brown one is the very common. Those days we had the brown one. But now, currently, we do not have this any longer. Okay, everything has been bleached and is made white. This is the structure of a grain. A grain on your left, this is how it looks like. And on the left, the right one is the one is after refined. So the whole grain comes with a bran. The bran is a fiber filled with the outer layer with lot of nutrition, such as lot of abundance of minerals and vitamin. So, and then in this middle part, there is endosperm. Endosperm is another carbohydrate structure with middle layer, okay, which is a lot of protein and also a little bit of vitamin. And that is the biggest portion. And then they have the germanium. That is something germ. Germ is the most important part in the grain seeds. Okay, in the germ there is a lot of vitamin E, the good fat, okay, healthy fat, and phytochemical. Okay, phytochemical is a chemical is extremely powerful to modulate or used by all the other vitamins and minerals to absorb into human system. When you refine them, you take away the bran and you take away the germ. Then what we are eating, we are only eating a pure starch, which is very high. And this starch is not really good. It's extremely only sugar-based. Starch is also will be converted to glucose and without the fiber. God has made food for us. And this is one food which is good. It comes in one wholesome, one structure. But apparently, due to all this technology, the new technology, it's been bleached, it's been refined due to so many other reasons. And then once you refine the flour, you refine the grains, it becomes zero value. When it becomes zero value, they enrich the flour again. They bleach the flour first to refine, and then they enrich the flour to add back more vitamins. But what vitamins do they add in back? Okay, that is until today, there is a lot of conspiracy that we do not know exactly what contents of vitamins are they using. Are they using animal? But in a way, they are using a lot of animal. For those who are vegetarian, okay, but they are taking, this flour is technically become non-vegetarian, okay? You all can go and Google back, do your studies, find out what is the enrichment part or what is the enrichment component which is added in. I don't want to claim anything here, okay? So, because a lot of people may really, really freak out if I really tell the truth. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right. So refined flour, it comes only with high starch, with very poor nutrition, which you are not getting any benefit from that. You're just filling up your stomach, but you're not getting the right required nutrition, or the body is not fed with the right nutrition as what it needed. Okay. So this is what the end of the day, the process, and this is what is really good to be processed with this refined flour. This is what really, really what people want now, and this is what demand, and this is where the business is. Look at it, it's so colorful and it's so nice, and this is what the world's demand food. Okay. So when you go to multigrain, also you have this multigrain food, which is the multigrain is totally out. The only the terminology multigrain terms tends to be very good, but in fact, it is not really giving you anything either. It is still the same. The terms multigrain, and then it's just adding a little bit of grains here and there, just to capture or convert your to diversify the consumer's mind. Lack of fibrous bran cause a lot of uh, lacking in nutrition and also fiber. Okay, and what happens, it increase the glycemic index. Glycemic index is something that will convert or the absorption of the fiber, the starch, and it will keep your sugar rise higher. In those days, when people do any bread, especially, they add a lot of good butter. Or the one who those who do chapati, they had a lot of ghee. But now people are so afraid about so-called cholesterol, they have taken out the ghee. So ghee is something is extremely powerful to give you or bring down the glycemic index. This will increase the glycemic index. What we want is a food which can bring down the glycemic index. Glycemic index is something which can reduce the calorie ratio, the calorie absorption ratio in the body. So anything which can reduce the glycemic index is good. One of the food is ghee, coconut, and all this. But we have taken this coconut and ghee out of our diet, and now the current situation, you cannot get a real homemade ghee. That is another big issue. Even now, people do not have time to process the coconut or to take the coconut milk out of the grated coconut. People are so busy, I don't know doing what, until you do not have time to prepare their own meal. How to be healthy in this way? You all got to answer the question. Unprocessed carbs are healthy choice like fruits, vegetables, and whole grain, and so many other food. But highly processed is refined carb, lack of vitamins, there's only starch, and fiber is not there. It spikes your sugar very high, okay, like a yo-yo, okay. 2 slices of bread is good enough to increase your sugar ratio higher. What people do, people have pizza and then they have a high carbonated drink. Is this going to spike your sugar up right up to 20? Most probably. Okay, this is going to cause a lot of confusion to your system. We'll come to that part. Our ancestors are not using the same flour. The quality of the flour which we had those days and now is totally different. Those days, food, the flour, was a real nutritional food. The current food is extremely poison to you. So those days they use an aging factor. This is called natural aging process. When they take the flour, they keep it for a while, a couple of months, to bring down the heat. When you ask them, what is the purpose of storing it for a couple of months, they always will tell you, to bring down the heat, to take out the water, to dry it, and so on. This is actually to give the germanium a little bit of time so that the germanium will have a little process and it will start to sprout out. So that is a chemical transaction. A protein is produced in the germanium. So the first component which I showed you, the structure of the grains, which out of the grains has a layer which is the skin, and internal is the full starch, and then the little part which is the germanium. But that part is all removed when what you're getting is only starch. And this is where the germanium needed time to be sprout and have a little chemical reaction to enrich the quality of the flour, quality of the grain. So this is the natural aging process we call. But nowadays we do not have time to have this natural process. So what we are doing now is we are adding in chemicals and speeding up the process. So this is called chemical aging process. There are a lot of couple of ways of people doing this chemical aging process. One of it is using benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide is a food bleaching agent. Food bleaching agent, this is allowed in certain countries and certain countries are not allowed. So this purpose of this processing is, as I told you, they're going to rip off the good part of the flour. And a lot of science is something, they have a good side of it, they have the dark side of it. You see, so they can create or they can make anything as how favorable to them, not to the consumers. Okay. So here we look. All right. What is the danger and what is the bad news here when you bleach the flour? Okay. First is, when we buy the flour and we keep or we store it, or you put an airtight container, when you keep them, they have a little bugs, black color little bugs will come and eat them. But nowadays, go and buy the flour, you put it in a container, you will not have any bug. Even a bug do not come and eat the flour. And you guys and we are really happily eating. Why? It tastes so good. Okay. So the bad news here, the chlorine, okay, and the bleaching point here is not human food. It is extremely bad and it causes irritants to the stomach, okay. And the second one, the bleaching diminish all the nutrition. It takes away a rip of entire valuable stuff in the grain. The most important is produce alloxin. Alloxin is a byproduct of the whole bleaching process, and alloxin is inducer to cause diabetic. In medical research, in a lot of animal studies, clinical studies, what they do, they want to induce diabetic to any of the subject or the animal. They use alloxin to boost up the sugar. This is really, really bad. As per WHO statistic, it says that in 7, 8 years, maybe 8 to 9 years or 8 years, we can take it as 8 year as cancer. Sorry, 70% is going to be cancer, 90% is going to be diabetic. Why? It has to be flour, because flour is something people really, really love it, and they are consuming it in a large amount without knowing the danger. It's extremely poison. Just imagine you putting the poison in your plate early morning. You start your day with the poison. And where does the health will lead to? A lot of people still debate, still argue what else to eat, what to do that and all. This is our responsibility. to keep ourselves healthy, right? So you want to debate with the opposite stream and you want to fight. No, we will not win. You only can win if you change the food on your plate. Okay? Don't debate, don't ask questions. Why they do this, why this country, that country, and all blah blah stuff. Okay? So go to the this is the law. Okay. You see, in many countries, they allow bleaching in certain percentage. So there are countries in Malaysia is allowed, in India is allowed. I don't know the percentage exactly, but another question is, if they can bleach, if they can do you think they're going to go and measure or has an enforcement to precisely check how much of bleaching effect or ingredients they are using? I don't think so. In Europe, it is not allowed. In US, it's allowed. So it's based on every country's law. And certain countries say, okay, some say no, it is not allowed. So in this process, it has a lot of conspiracy going on the law area. So we are here not to argue on the law area, but it is confirmed it is extremely dangerous on the bleaching part. So what kind of damages are we causing towards the health? Okay, let's go one by one. Obesity. You see nowadays in Malaysia, go out in a crowded area, just take your food, snap it, and come back home and circle how many people is thin and how many people is fat. You will randomly do it and you will get the statistic on your own. For maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, you do that. Okay, wherever, it can be anywhere. People nowadays are so big in size and we could not even know whether it's a teenager or an adult or what is the age like. People are just bloating up extremely, and you see the man having a very huge belly nowadays. This is very common. I also will come to that part, and where do it go wrong, and how can this fat, the visceral fat, can be accumulated. Okay. It also affects the mind extremely. The protein in wheat directly affects the brain. Able to cross, you see, there is a kind of protein barrier with wheat drive, substance attached to the brain in in option of receptor. This is really rising the sugar up and it causing extensive damage in the hormones and also the adenosine and many hormone which supports the brain. And this is where a lot of people have this sluggish mind and also brain clouding and so many other effects which it comes through this. Nowadays, y'all can really see Alzheimer, Parkinson, anything to do with congenital disease, which is coming extensively more and more and more. In the younger age, they are getting this problem. Why? Because one reason, when you take this bleached flour, you will damage your gut. And when you damage your gut, which is very much into leaky gut, you will cause extensive brain damage. Okay, so go back to another thing is type 2 diabetes. You see, when you take 2 slices of any white bread, or it doesn't matter, in Malaysia, we call it as brown bread. Brown bread, jagung bread, and all kind of fiber bread stuff. The name may differ, the look at it may be different. It might look a little brownish, but end of the day, the ingredients is the same, the sugar content is the same, the base flour is the same. So the food industry is so good of making good labels. It looks like they are the best. All right. We are trapped in between. Okay. Definitely type 2 diabetic is there. So remember one thing, you parents, whoever listening to this, and you are the cost for your child's diabetic when they grow up. So it is nothing to do with genetic. Put genetic aside. The eating habit and the feeding habit is the genetic. And this is what the child been taught or been given. Like the high sugar based food, this is what we are drowned with. Milo, Horlicks, and all this stuff. Milo is already taken out of the health drink. We have a lot of debate and talk and write-ups based on Milo. You all guys can go and Google and study on it. Nutella lost a lawsuit in US based on the sugar is so high, and how could they claim Nutella as a good, healthy beverage for the children? Okay, and so goes to all the bread and this kind of bread, and which it cannot name, or there is no special label or brands for it. All comes under the category. So you are the cause, and we do not want to be the cause for our child to be diabetic at the age of 20 or 30. Please do something about this. All right. The lower sugar in the blood spikes very, very fast, very high. You see, this is, waistline. You see, nowadays people have, there's a studies shows that any waistline more than 35 and above, you will have very high chance of having erectile dysfunction, ED, erectile dysfunction. This is also a study studied in Oxford University. You can go and look for the Google for the paper, or I might put in the YouTube after this session. So it shows that 36 and above. So keep your waist lower as possible. So this waistline, this is called visceral fat. The extra padding is formed in your stomach. Okay, this is the destructive array of inflammatory signal. This is extremely dangerous. For those who are young or do not have any disease, if you are in the age of 30, you may not have any disease. You may be very good in diabetic, and your sugar readings is extremely fine, and your pressure is good. But remember one thing, you definitely will age up. Nobody is going to stay there or stay at 30 for another 10 years or another 20, or until you retire from this world. We will age up. When the age process is going, the inflammation will get greater, and you're going to have extensive amount of damages which caused by all this inflammation. The inflammation is happening on every daily basis, and this is going to be extremely dangerous. The visceral fat is a fat which is stored around your waist, especially when you have hormonal activities changes and sexual hormones as well. See, these sexual hormones produce a lot of estrogen. So this estrogen is a female hormone, and it is not a male hormone. Nowadays, we can see a large amount of children in the age of a primary school, standard 1, standard 2, they have huge hips. Okay, why? Because bread is something it's been introduced to every child at the age of 1, because people are so innocent and ignorant, did not know about anything like this. Okay, so this is you can see the leaky gut. I'm standing at the back of the leaky gut. Okay, never mind. So this is a little okay, comes to the leaky gut. Leaky gut is another major issues here we are having. Okay, and this leaky gut is another huge process, and this is what caused extensive damage to the human system. Where does it go wrong? Okay, you see, the very fast, the leaky gut has a protein, which this protein called glidin. This glidin is a protein comes from the starch. Okay, and this starch will produce extents when you take too much of uh, this process flour. What will happen is it will start to produce extensive amount of uh, uh, zinolin. This zinolin is another most dangerous protein which is produced excessively, and this will cause leaky gut. Okay, when you have too much, it will start to escape from the gut, and this leaky gut is going to cause autoimmune disease, a lot of immune disease. It's going to overdrive. You see, when you have this glidin is going to produce zinolin. Zinolin is going to go through your intestine, is going to have excess amount of damages on the gut. And what will lead to is you're going to have autoimmune disease. It's going to overdrive your immunity. So that is where the protein cells, your own cells, your own immune system will start to eat up the other cells. So, so much of complications will go up to the chromosome level, to the cell level, because you are eating or consuming flour-based food for very, very long time. How long? 15 years, 20 years. Anyone the age of 60, you may be consuming flour for at least 58 years old. 58 years you've been consuming. Just imagine. But somebody said it is good food. Okay? This is really bad and also it costs. You see, when you have what is hypertension? In a simple manner, I tell you what is hypertension. Okay, this this is a measurement of the heart, the combustion. Okay, let's put it this way. Okay, when the heart pump the blood going out, this is the top pressure, and then after that the heart rest is the bottom pressure. So normally a pressure is 110/70 based on American Heart Association. Put that aside. So now what is really happening, the heart has to put in so much pressure to maintain the human system. This is where if you have a pressure which is 130, 140, 150, whatever, that shows you are humbling. You are having a little bit of unhealthy situation. Where temporary rise of pressure, it's okay. So if you involved in a physical activity, you are doing a sports or you're walking, you're jumping, or either you get agitated, you get emotional, that is norm. This is where the body needs to increase the flow of the blood to supply nutrition to every single cell. That is okay. But without doing anything, throughout the day, 20 hours to 24 hours, your blood pressure is in 150 or 150/90. This shows that you are having inflammatory body or may have any other block. So one reason, if you're going to have the leaky gut, you're going to have the diabetic, you're going to have all this inflammation, obviously it's going to create hypertension for you. Why? Because the body has a lot of area to attend. So this is really, really dangerous. Don't come like this where when you pump and then you tends to fly off, like the helium balloon. All right. So cardiovascular disease is another issue. See, the artery narrowing down, atherosclerosis, is a creation of a products whereby the body, this is also called toxin. In DXN, we always talk about toxin. Okay, atherosclerosis is another toxin which is accumulated in between the wall of the artery. The wall is like this. This is how the blood, arteries, it comes in between. It's not here, it's in between. So this is where, it has a lot of complications. Sugar, the glucose, the starch is one of the main byproduct to produce a lot of toxins. You see, you are damaging the heart. But a lot of people think that bread is much better food. Chapati is much better food. It was those days, but it's no longer now. Unless you go back to your old days, good food. But my question is always one. Why do you want to take so much of risk by eating such a food? I myself, I do not eat this, and I still can find my options of food. And I don't let either my family to eat this either. I also put a lot of effort to my friends and for my loved ones. And every time I always tell them, keep away and keep away and keep away. But what to do? They love the bread so much until sometimes they hide and they eat. This is so funny. And also the statistic of cancer is just spiking up tremendously. And this is another reason, okay, and it goes to the bread. Bread in a way, because starch is sugar. We know now the colorectal cancer, the colon cancer, rectum cancer, stomach cancer is also one of the leading cancer nowadays and comes with all the other cancers. The cost is digestion. Okay. And then comes to food addiction. You see, when you have this leaky gut, it's the cost of all this food addiction and also the brain. So when you have excess flow of this protein and going and damaging the hormones and also all the good part of the chemical which needs to stabilize your brain, and that is where the cravingness tends to spike up. You want to eat something which is very sugary, and people love sugar. Sugar is caused high addiction, which is also starch. Starch causes a lot of addiction, where a lot of people, they like this kind of bread and very sweet stuff. And the breads comes nowadays, you see, with a lot of ingredients with added with cream and this and that, all kind of stuff. Okay. And depression. See, nowadays we have abundance of people having extensive amount of depression, and this depression is so dangerous, and it can go up to a child. A child got depression. What does a child knows about depression? We those days, I do not come across very few, unless the child has a bad family and lost the parents, or some kind of tragedy to happen, then it might have some stress issue or depression issue. But nowadays they have good family, they have money, they have everything, yet the child is depressed. So they tends to put the blame on so many other areas, where like studies, too much of studies to do and this and that. But apparently do not think about the condition of the colon, the condition of the gut, the condition of the stomach. A lot of people have this issue. A few of my downlines, in the group, they also had the same problem, but that is the time, the initial stage where they started knowing DXN, and they are gradually taking DXN. You see, the vegetarians is the most difficult people. They always exposed to bread and chapati. This is something that is really easy for them to consume. So you see, sometimes a vegetarian's child has a little bit of depression and stress. Why? Most probably it could be the leaky gut. This is the issue. So any one of you have these problems, please look into the child's food habit and take away or reduce as much as you can. Reduce at least 80 to 90% of the consumption of bleached flour or anything to do with flour-based food. Increase the enzymes. This will really handle the problem very well, and it will save the child's condition. Okay. So overloaded with so much called depression. Those days we don't have all these things. We only have in certain conditions. But nowadays, depression is part of the lifestyle. So they have depression management. Good things you manage, bad things you do not manage. You do not have to manage stress. You do not manage depression. So you must know how to handle this. Okay. Gluten. Gluten is another sticky stuff which a lot of people, not only a lot of people, every human are allergic to gluten, but some have high tolerance to gluten. So some can take, most cannot take, and this is where the whole problem comes. It's this kind of sticky gluish stuff. It sticks in all your colon, and this is also one of the process to speed up the leaky gut, and can cause depression, can cause hypertension, and can cause many diseases, especially diabetic. Okay, you the guys do not believe this. Take bread or take chapati, go and test your sugar, and you see. I have diabetic people, and I told them, they do not believe. They take 2 slices of white bread, and after 30 minutes or 10 minutes or even 10 minutes, they check, and the sugar is double the expected. It is like normally if it is 8, it can go up to 18 or 20. All right, give a try. How does DXN can help you? You see, DXN is a company which is a Ganoderma based company. We always talk about toxin and imbalances, but we are actually talking about the wholesome of food, where we have enzyme theory, we have green theory, we have toxin theory, and we also take care of the entire system. That's why DXN is keep coming with many products which is food based, which is daily needed stuff. Okay, such as we have a lot of enzymes, we have a lot of different types of food. Even in the future, we have many production in pipeline which is coming to be a very good food. So we cannot change people's habit on food. If you tell them not to take this, not to take that, they're going to ask another question, then what to eat? Then I will die. This is what they come out with. But you do not know the current food which you are eating is what killing you. So make the DXN food as your food and whatever food you're eating as your medicine. So eat a lot of DXN food, especially Morinzi, Morinzyme, Codipine, Fruzine. All these enzymes base will help your gut. So if you have a habit of taking bread, take it extremely lower dosage, reduce it as much as you can. And then what you do is you increase the good part, the Ganoderma and all. You see, yesterday, 2 days back, I had my cousin called me from Sungai Petani and asked, she had very, very bad difficulties in her bowel, the stomach, burping, headache, and shivering. But she got a history of very bad, poor colon system. What to do? People will even sacrifice their life for the food, and this is that category. Okay, she's been eating a lot of bad things, but over the days, over the time period, she has corrected a lot of stuff, and yet a little here and there. For Chinese New Year, her neighbor gave her a lot of cookies and some jam tart and this and that stuff after not having it for such a period. So what she did was she had a few. I don't know the few is how many, but she had quite a number. After a few days, she had very bad stomach pain and a lot of things went haywire. Okay, she also have a lot of financial issues and all of other stuffs, which is also indirectly causing her to have a lot of extensive damage in the stomach and the colon. Stress is one will go vice versa. It stress can damage your colon can cause stress. Either way, it same goes to the gut. And then I told her to take some enzyme, some lion's mane, and she has all the DXN products, and then some lemon seed. It was okay for 1 to 2 days. The best part is today morning she had bread. She had the four square biscuit, ping pong biscuit for this is for Malaysian, our biscuit for international Indians, square biscuits for the other race. All the same biscuits are named in different way. Ping pong tawa biscuit, and then four square biscuits. Okay, she had that. Of the goodness sake, we already fixed the problem. How can she go and consume such thing? And it caused her in immediate hypertension. The pressure went up to 200 over because the stomach was really bad. She had a lot of gas productions and everything go haywire. And today she's admitted in ICU. So this is the complications is caused by when you have a very bad colon. Why we have to eat such a food and get ourselves in such a difficult situation? I just don't understand. I really don't understand this part. Okay, but I leave it to y'all. A lot of people say, food, this blah blah cannot compromise and all stuff. Okay, this comes to the Ganoderma. Ganoderma, we know king of herb. So when you have the king, eat like a king. This is my request from every single DXNS. Eat like a king. You have the king of herb. So make sure you make use of it. Eat more, eat more. If you don't have enough budget, go and work out. Introduce to a lot of people and make your supplements become free. See, RG is the detoxification part. RG is the body of the mushroom. It's the body, fruity body. Hours to process is 90 days. The GL is the mycelium, the root which ours in 40 days, 14 days, 1-4. The body is 90 days, 90, and the mycelium is 14 days. So you have the best substance with you, the best product with you. Please use them wisely or more as much as you can. But don't eat like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eat as much as you can. That will be the best. because we can't really battle with the low quality products or the tempered, so much of problems when it comes to food. I don't want to talk about that again and again, but we can't escape from that. If you have a habit of taking bread, okay, it's fine. At least increase your morinzi intake, morinzyme intake, and the codipine intake. You're not taking codipine, you're not taking morinzi, you're not taking morinzyme either, or none of the uh, enzyme theory, but you are taking bread and you're taking RGGL spirulina, and that also you are taking 2, 3, 4. How to save? How, man? Come on, tell me. Okay. At end of the day, they will always ask a question. I'm also taking DXN for 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. Why it is not working on me? It is not that it's not working on you. You caused the expense damage and you are not reducing the input of the bad stuff. But at least we are not taking Enoderma since the day one we born. We are taking in between the time. So put in some effort of rebalancing the whole situation. I always tell people, I love cake. I love sugar. Who don't like chocolates? Who don't like sugar? Who don't like things which is good? Yes, but it cannot be every day. When I go for holiday, everything will be sugar based for me. Everything will be cake and things like that. I love cake, good cakes. I really appreciate cakes. Okay. Some may think, what this guy, blah, blah stuff. Bring me out. If you want to spend, then I'll tell you what are the cakes are the best, where to get them, how to eat them, and which coffees are the best. Try. Then I'll teach you on that part as well. But in 365 days, you can't see me even eating cake for 10 days because that is not it's something during festival, Christmas, or some birthday parties you value. Why? My body is more high value because I need this system to be with me in tip-top condition until I retire my journey as a human. Okay, so comes to enzyme theory. We have the best enzyme. We have the most affordable enzyme. You see, bromelain-based derma and also this, codipine-based, enzyme. This enzyme is one of the best enzyme. We are not able to get it from other source. No other companies are having such an enzyme. Bromelain has an anti-inflammatory, is a mother enzyme, is very, very powerful. And then comes to the green theory, and it's also spirulina, is so powerful, so good. Please enjoy them, take them a lot. Throw these stuffs, or keep it low as much as y'all can, which is the bleach flour. So we are taking so much of bleach flour, so much of damage is causing the system. The system is a given system by God to us to take care of it. But that's why they didn't come with a transparent glass that you can see inside and then you may fix it again. So the journey of life is totally very, very interesting and very challenging. See, you have the right, you have everything to do good and bad. You do, it's your choice. Okay, so thank you for the great hearing, and thanks for watching, and thanks for listening, and also please subscribe and comes to the Q&A session. Okay, so the co-host is there.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's go to the Q&A session.
Yeah. Okay, now it's open for Q&A section. So anyone have a question, you can ask now regarding with our topic today, or any other things you want to ask regarding with DXN or health issues. You can ask doctor now. You can raise your hand and you can ask the question, or you can put in the chat box also.
It is 9:20, so
Yeah.
maybe for another 10 minutes we will, so anyone please ask question, or we may ask question. Yesterday in my talk, I mentioned a few people, I saw their timeline and they had flour-based food, and they sent me a message saying sorry, and then they said, they will change. The sorry is not to me. Your sorry has to go to your body. Okay, your body is another living being which is very highly depending on us to feed them the right food. So the sorry has to go to the body, and also it's a very good thing that you responded. I really, really appreciate, and do not take this wrongly or do not convey the message wrongly. I really want every single of the DXNers to bloom success with wealth, health, and wealth. Okay, so that's why I will always highlight this to one, so that they get the message.
Doctor, one question has come.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one person asked
Okay.
if unbleached flour available, what brand, if any?
Okay, this is very common question that everybody asks, can I eat unbleached flour? Okay, I asked her one question. I don't know how to put this. Let me think about this. Okay, for me, I always ask a question like this. Okay, this body is the most precious gift by the God to me. I value my health extremely. So every single point and every single thing which I learn pertaining to my health, I give the best shot. There is no second end, there is no low quality when it comes to my health, because my health is something extremely precious, is number one for me. So I do not want to compromise. I know something which is not good, so I will not take that at all. Even it can be bleached, unbleached, or nourished, whatever, safe, and all these parameters. No, for me, no, I don't want. But I keep that for good days. Maybe occasional, comes Deepavali, comes Christmas. Yes, I will have cake. I will have what I really like. If I go for holiday, yes, I eat, but not daily basis. No, flour is not good. Why do I have to take flour? So I can eliminate the flour. I can take the flour out of my diet. For the one who asked the question, can I take? You define yourself. What brand? I don't know, because why one person? When I say no, no. Okay. So I don't want to take any flour. There are a lot of flours which out there is coming, bleached, unbleached, and all these stuffs. They said different brand which is good. But my question is, the price for bleached and unbleached is so different. The bleached can be the refined flour. It is normally 2 to 3 ringgit or 4 ringgit, but the unbleached, the unrefined can go up to 20 ringgit. So there's just a couple of ringgit extra. I do not believe the country where I'm living and they have this called, they monitor the labeling techniques and the quality of food coming in here. No, I don't have the confidence. So I do not want to take this. So you try, I don't. If you think that your health is extremely good and important, take that flour off. Go for a lot of good things. You have Italy, you have appam, you have tosse, you have the cholam, you have kepe, kulu, kambu. There's so many good ingredients you have with you. Put a little bit of effort of doing something the best for you. And this system can never be reversed if it is really bad. And that time, don't stop flour. A lot of people are sitting and lying down and just looking at the roof and blinking their eyes because they had a stroke. And that's the time they don't want to eat bread. I tell them, no, just give. If this is too late, see, when you want to get to that condition and you want to stop, or you want to fix this earlier and bring yourself to the real best of the best, you decide. A lot of people ask me this question. So, can I take unbleached flour? I said, no, it's up to you. After all this method, all this information, such a valuable information is given, and I have told you and have with a lot of proof that this is a poison. And you ask me, can I take the one which state no poison? Choice is yours.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Ranjan is available. Can we have some few words from him?
Oh, yes, doctor.
Dr. Ranjan, share your few words, please. You can unmute yourself.
Dr. Ranjan, you can unmute.
Good morning,
Oh.
Dr. Firdaus.
Good morning, doctor. We miss you so much.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good
Yeah,
morning,
good morning.
doctor.
Good morning, Mr. Nixon. Good morning, Mr. Nemi. Yeah.
Good morning, Doctor.
Yeah,
Good morning.
yeah. Actually, I didn't log in 2 sessions, so because I was busy with my guests.
Okay, no problem, doctor.
Any specific question that I need to address, or I'll say if somebody asked, the refined flour and unrefined flour.
Yeah.
So if you take the whole grain flour, that is unrefined. In Tamil they say Navataniyangal, 9 types of flours you can get, grains you can get made into a flour, and they are unbleached, they are natural, and that is the best. And Dr. Lim always used to say, get the nutrition from various sources, diversify your food. So in India, this mixture of these unrefined flours are available. They are really good. They are going to give good nutrition, and most importantly, they are not processed. So it's becoming popular here. As you rightly said, we have the choice of food, and people make the wrong choice, and they eat a lot of unhealthy food.
Yeah.
So the food habits, it has to develop from the childhood, and that is where the mother is very important in training the child to take nutritious, healthy food. So the food plays a major role in causation of many diseases. Actually, about 9 years back, I had a lecture in the African Cardiological Society, and my topic was childhood hypertension. Now it's becoming increasingly common that child for their age, they have a high blood pressure, and that is a killer. And of course, on the opposite side, you have the undernutrition with low immunity. So what I'm trying to say is, now the children, they are addicted to all these fast foods and unhealthy foods. And who is responsible for that? Only the mother is responsible for that, because she is teaching the children the wrong diet. Actually, one of my experiences that in Delhi about a few years back, I saw a 1-year-old child. She is fed. She was taking pizza, and the child's mother was feeding the child. That I was shocked. They get addicted to all kinds of this unhealthy diet, the fast foods. So the fast foods, they are the fast way to disease and death. And more importantly, the wrong food habits, they lead to early hypertension, diabetes, obesity, and in addition to that, smoking, physical inactivity. All these things, they lead to what we call it as a early onset of non-communicable diseases. Of course, on the other hand, we have communicable diseases like, due to viruses, due to bacteria and fungus. Now we are facing now. And for that, we need to keep our immunity. 2 things are important to be healthy. One is nutrition, good nutrition, and good immunity. And the food can give us, boost our immune system. The healthy food, of course, there are a lot of foods which can boost our immune system. There are medicinal herbs which can increase our immunity. And in that, especially in Indian diet, South Indian diet, we take a lot of this ginger, pepper, cardamom, all these spices. They can increase the immune level. But we know that in DXN, we are having the best, the king of herbs to boost up the immunity and to detoxify the Ganoderma. And the second thing is for the micronutrition, we have the queen of nutrition, spirulina. So when you take these on a regular basis, DXN products, especially Ganoderma and spirulina, you stay healthy, you boost up your immunity, and you can postpone the aging process and postpone the illness. So that is my thinking. I think it's a great responsibility on the part of the parents to take care of the child's nutrition. That is where we go wrong. Yes. We think that my child will be chubby, the child is healthy. And I think that's a danger sign. And there were a lot of studies done in school children for obesity, and you'll be surprised that even in India, there is a 30% the obesity in children going to school. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was conducted in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and few of the studies. So I had to read all those things for when I prepared for my lecture. And I think that the situation is same in all over the world in most of the countries. The childhood obesity is a big problem. And now obesity, we define that weight for the ideal, the ideal body weight for the age and height. And we derive it, by the body mass index and other parameters. We assess the obesity. If a child is 10% more than the ideal body weight, then is overweight. If one is about 20%, the child becomes under the category of obesity. And morbid obesity, more than 40%. That is what we are facing, some morbid obesity, because due to wrong dietary habits, physical inactivity, and all those, the associated factors. So unless we are going to address these issues in the children, I don't think we'll be able to produce a healthy society. So food plays a major role, and the parents should concentrate on that, especially when they are training their children in the childhood to have good nutritious food and food that can keep them healthy. Yeah, that is my view. And it's recommended by all the international bodies that many of the diseases can be prevented or postponed by just taking care of the nutrition. Yeah, that's I just wanted to add that to your whatever you have said today. Great information that you have shared. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Firdaus. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you.
Dr. Ranjan addressed, you see, there are a lot of replacements for this actually, which has to be unprocessed. Okay, get the real grains, unprocessed grains, and then you can blend them. You can convert them into powder, and then you can you can make your own bread. That is the best.
But no, previously about 30-40 years back, it all hand pounded.
Yes, exactly.
Right? In the villages, right?
Yes, yes.
Now that just totally, you know, that the practice is gone.
Uh-huh.
And the Volaka, you know, I don't know
Yes.
how do you call the other, அது தூக்குறதுக்கு ஆள் இல்ல. Yeah. Now even if I go to the village to make some the idli podi or some masala,
Yes.
I ask my mother to be hand pounded, and only one or two ladies, few ladies will be able to do that in the villages.
Yeah.
Now all the others have forgotten, and you know, now the everything we have machines.
Exactly.
Right? So
Yes.
hand powdered, that is a natural, and the whole grain food they have to be encouraged. It may be a little expensive, but it is, you know, worth it when it comes to question of taking care of our health. Yeah.
Exactly. See,
And
like,
and also here the paratha is very famous. The paratha is made out of the wheat flour, the maida.
maida.
That's the worst part.
Yes. Yes.
As you pointed out, you know, there is a lot of allantoin, and it is processed, and that's highly unhealthy.
Yes.
Paratha is very, very famous here, popular. I think in Malaysia also paratha should be famous.
Yes.
So on a daily basis, you know, a lot of people indulge in taking parathas with some curries, and we can go for a whole grain parathas, the whole wheat parathas.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we can also make chapati or parota without oil also, or with less oil, or we have the best oil in DXN, that is a virgin coconut oil.
Yes.
Yeah, I have found it you know, very tasty when you make chapati or parota with the virgin coconut oil. Yeah. And you can actually mix it up with the sesame oil also, 50-50. Yeah, 50% sesame oil, that is your nallanna. Then 50% our virgin coconut oil. It tastes so good.
Yes.
You can do any type of cooking with this oil.
Yes.
Yeah. We need carb. We need carb for our energy, as well as for nutrition, for some kind of nutrition. But at the same time, we have to be careful about what type of carbohydrate you are taking.
Yes, that's very important.
Even though a lot of dietitians, they are advising low carb diet. In my opinion, I don't think you know, the proteins and fats can totally replace carbs.
Yeah.
We need carbs. Maybe the source of the carb has to be good, and we need a healthy diet to maintain our health.
Yeah.
So the famous saying, you know, unave marandu, food as medicine.
Yes.
What's happening today is, you know, the food is becoming a poison.
Yeah.
In DXN we have so many food and food supplements which can help us to take care of the nutrition, as well as to keep us healthy.
Yeah. Very true.
Thank you, Dr. Firdaus.
Thank you. That's why for everyone, the DXN the products will be helping a lot. Okay, because we see here the whole thing is that for people to have the huge changes is very hard. You know, immediately you want to apply also is difficult. So what I will suggest is take a lot of virgin coconut oil, use the coconut into your diet, and also increase lot of enzymes in the food. You know, this is in a way will help you, and also GL, the mycelium, and all these things. So this is going to be a very easy for us to manage. Okay, so a lot of people are asking what is the replacement. So they, because they want replacement. Okay, for there is no replacement for processed flour. Okay, there is no good processed flour. So in Malaysia especially, there are almost all flours have been processed. So go back to the, ragi, the millets are very good, one of the best option. So there is, but you have to buy and you have to, process them on your own. So keep this kind of food low. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
keep the carbo low. We do not need so much of carbo. That's the whole idea. Okay, because those days we had very less carbo, and nowadays we are eating too much of carbo, and every food is coming in base of carbo based food. So a different form of carbo, like Dr. Ranjan said, what is the form of carbo you are taking? But we are taking, everything is carbo and everything is different form of carbo. By end of the day, all these things going to become as sugar. So do your body need so much of sugar? See, so some says multigrain good for carbo, and then the rice is a carbo, and then noodles is a carbo, and then you go on, go on, go on. So everything will become accumulated carbo. So if you say end of the day, when you retire your day, you already have access approximately about 3,000 calories of kilojoules of energy being consumed totally with everything. So your body not going to burn that much of calorie, where your body, if you are a hard work, you put a lot of stuff, maybe about 2,000 kilojoules of calorie. But even that, no, you don't. If you were to run on the treadmill for 1 hour to 45 minutes, approximately 600 calories you burn. So just imagine for a running for 1 hour, you are burning around 6 to 700. So what is going to happen for the whole day? We are walking, we are on the air condition, and most of the time we are sitting. So that's why, I would like to do even the Zoom, which is standing. Standing will be the best option. There's a small proverb saying that what you can do sitting, do it standing. What you can do it standing, do it running. So increase your activity of movement. At the same time, the DXN here to make you more easier and help you more. So use that as your main food. So don't use that as a supplement, or don't use that as your vitamin, or don't use that as your medicine. A lot of people thinking that it comes in a capsule, it comes in a bottle, it is a medicine. No, it is not a medicine. It is all a super functional food, which is going to give you a high therapeutic effect, a medicinal value. Okay. So any questions?
Dr. Firdaus,
Yes,
another
doctor.
point I want to add,
Yeah.
that today now we are facing a problem of genetically modified foods.
Yes, GMO.
GM.
GMO. Yeah. So that's another dangerous, the thing which is happening. So
Yes,
we
doctor.
must avoid all the food that is made out of the GMO.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah. And last year, before the lockdown, I had been to Dubai for for their annual day function, 18th anniversary function, and coincidence, they took me to the food expo. Food expo, and it was crowded. There was no space to move around. So many companies with all the different kinds of foods. And end of the day, I thought that maybe within a very short time you need not cook at home. Everything what you want to take, you just go to the grocery store and buy.
Yeah, correct.
Which is very, very, very unhealthy.
Yes, correct.
And that's what the future generation is going to do, and we are getting into trouble. Yeah. I was stunned. I was stunned, when I went to that food expo. So only the 50% I saw. The rest of the 50% I didn't have the time to see.
Exactly.
And Matthew said, "Doctor, you can go and relax, and we will go through the other section." So food processing industry is a very what shall I say, a very prosperous industry now.
Yes.
Yeah. So we should not get our children, especially our children, we should not get addicted to all these fast foods and the GMO processed foods. That's very, very dangerous. Yeah.
Correct.
Very true. What Dr. Ranjan highlighted here is a very huge GMO, genetic modified organism, is another huge subject which can go for another 1 or 2 hours talking on it. I have spoke about this in a few conference. So maybe I will share. I still have all the slides with me. Okay. Everything
Dr.
is being,
Firdaus, I will send you a few pictures,
yes,
taken in that food expo.
yeah.
And, the lunch, what we had was, every stall gives free, food.
Oh yes, for food expo, you don't need to eat.
You actually overeat. You
You'll give
can,
you free.
eat whatever you want. Yeah. And
Exactly.
there is a long, queue standing
Yes.
in some of the stalls.
Yes.
So I
I
was
think
totally stunned, when I saw that.
doctor, the one you have to pay and go in, is it?
Yeah. It was around, I think it is meant for only the delegates.
Delegates, yeah.
Delegates, and I think it was around 400 dirhams.
Yes, yes.
300 or 400 dirhams. And they had an extra ticket. So they said, Doctor, why don't you come? So myself and Mr. Haja, we went. And probably, one or two foods we tasted. We were very particular about only, certain type of foods. We just took it.
Yes.
And
yes.
you name it, any
Yeah.
kind of food is available there.
Everything.
All
everything,
processed,
yes.
GMO, and totally unhealthy.
Totally unhealthy.
Yeah.
I went to one agricultural expo in Malaysia. Wow, you can see the big pumpkin, tall as me. Snake god, huge snake god. Okay, but the base of the plant is so little small pot. It is not a
Yeah.
big pot, it's this size, but they can produce such a big, huge vegetables and all. Well, how is that possible? That's called GMO. Everything is modified. So science is, that's good side, that's bad side. Now you see the coconut trees was 20 feet, now they have all 4 feet. So you don't have to climb, you just walk and you pluck them. You see papayas, they have full of fruits. And this is where they make it, in this technology, they have superseded God's creation.
Yeah, hybrid technology.
Hybrid technology. So everything
Yeah,
is,
I remember, those days, about 40, 50 years back, to, the cultivate the paddy, you
yes,
get the grain only after 6 to 7 months.
yeah,
And now it is only hardly 90 days.
yes,
So, yeah, that's, they're all the hybrid varieties. And I was told that, even, those days, it can take a year for the
yes,
paddy to cultivate and harvest that. 1
Yeah.
year. Now it is hardly 80 to 90 days.
yes. Very
So
true.
what kind of nutrition you can expect from that kind of, the food stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's where DXN comes in a favor to us, to help us from all this, because we cannot be thinking about this, getting so stressful about this, what to eat, what not to eat, because we do not have that much time to sit and calculate and to do so much. See, you want to buy this, you have to go this side. You want to buy chicken, you go this side. You want to buy good flour, you go that side. So who's going to do this marketing and who's going to do all this? And then especially like for leaders like me, we are traveling, we are always on move. We hardly nowadays have time to check even the WhatsApp. See the, to sometimes, we scroll through, we want to, while nowadays, even I am driving, it's voice recognition, text is been fixed. Everything want to be automized because we do not have much time. So everything is on earplug, this and that. So the exposure to toxins is so drastic because every single electronic component is contributing toxin. That's another toxin. The food toxin, the weather toxin, human toxin. We are surrounded with toxin. You may avoid a certain toxins, but you can't avoid every toxin. So the best method here to avoid the toxins is 12 RG. Oh, that's it. The RG will take care and rejuvenate yourself. Your body is extremely powerful, and how it became kept so powerful until the end of our journey. One, your mind. Have a very good, tranquil mind. This is very important. How are you going to get a good, tranquil mind? Control the food area a little. increase the Ganoderma, the mycelium, all the mushroom which is we got in our hand. So this is the best. Second, tonia therapy to coordinate, to calibrate, to make your mind balance in a way. That's one. So you already have in this area. When it comes to the wealth area, also you have another platform. Bring this good information to all the people that you loved. So this good information, what we are learning, keeping your health good, teaching all this, what we are teaching to everyone. So practically, we are just copying, duplication one on one and one. You from here give it to these people, and save everyone. The wealth will come to you. See, money is plenty of money in this global, plenty of money in this whole world. So it just has to make a magnetic force to pull the money from other place. What is the magnetic force? It's the blessing. So you need to create a blessing that people bless you for what you are doing. So that's why I love DXN so much, because in every single thing which I do, I get abundance of blessing. And this network marketing is the only platform where you can help another person. You give them the hand, pull them up, train them, coach them, and we can grow together. So when we start this Zoom today, see everybody's good morning, so happy to see each other. So they are laughing. Wow, that was so nice. So this is what we are doing. So let's learn who's going to pay you to drink coffee, who's going to pay you to eat spirulina, who's going to pay you for going for holiday, who's going to
DXN.
pay you for doing Zoom, who's going to pay you for saying good morning. Isn't
DXN.
it so good? Right?
Yes, doctor,
Yes,
absolutely.
DXN. Absolutely,
So,
DXN is paying.
so we are so blessed with every single thing we do. So that's why, we are remain. Every time when I go to the DXN office, to the girls in front there, I always will be making jokes, I'll be, making them happy. They always ask me, Doctor, you are happy always. I said, do DXN, then you'll be happy. But they can't do, they are the staff there.
They try to recruit now.
Stuff. And I always tell them, yes, life is all about being happy, smiling, laughing, and all these things. But when I used to work in the hospital, their staffs called me lion. See, my face is, even a patient came and asked me, excuse me, doctor, can I ask you a question? I say, yes. He said, you don't smile. I just gave a very small smile. I said, what you want now? I told her, the more I smile, I have to give medical medical leave, MC. So that's why I don't smile. So what is your problem? You see, in the hospital, we are the HOD, we are so strict, we have to get things done, so much of headache. You cannot smile. But sometimes you want to smile. But here, I tell you, the amount of joy, the amount of happiness of doing things, but even it is so drastic, so tough, so this, yes, it's fantastic. I tell you, a lot of people call and say, Doctor, you busy? You say, I'm supposed to go and see Shell tomorrow morning. I'm going. So thank you so much, Shell, for, rescheduling my appointment tomorrow. All the orders is in my car for past 2 days, so this is what is going on. But health is good, being happy, smile more. so, so let's end this session today. So
All right.
Mr. Nixon, your message please for.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. Fantastic. Today is a fantastic day. We have learned a lot of things and we enjoyed the session. I hope everyone will be forget about the flaws. Just chuck it out from their head and do something new. The message here is not that we are against or any foods or not. Just reduce the intake of outside more to the extent natural and living food. So you reduce the food outside and take more good food, you will get a good health. That is the message. So everybody must understand this. We should be shared this to everyone, to our loved one, and to our family members, and to throughout the world. make it as a habit, and we talk every day, single day, use this as a tool to grow our business and also to make people living a healthier life, to make this planet healthier and wealthier. That is our motto here. And we grow together, we enjoy together, and more happiness will be flow around us. Thank you so much for the day, and have a great day. So anything, Mr. Nemi, you want to share something?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Firdaus, Dr. Ranjan, Mr. Nixon, and all the participants. Thank you very much. As Mr. Nixon said, start using more of DXN products, be healthy, stay healthy, and spread the healthy, make the world healthier and wealthier. Thank you very much.
Okay, we come to the end. Thank you so much.
Have
We
a great
will
day.
see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be our coffee day.
Coffee day.
Yes, so and maybe we do something tomorrow, a different. Keep your all your camera on with your coffee.
All right.
So we're going to drink coffee. We're going to have the full screen, not only me. So we're going to have a lot of cross interactive communication tomorrow, so which is going to be from every single of you. So please
right.
Make sure, Dr. Firdaus,
yes,
Dr.
doctor.
Firdaus, make sure that everybody drinks only coffee.
Yeah, drinks only coffee and DXN coffee.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
can get a DXN mug, if not, it's okay.
Yeah. Now,
Bring
nothing
the
other.
coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you have to show a DXN coffee. Even
No other
in the
liquid is
packet.
allowed. Yeah, no other
Yeah,
liquid is
no
allowed.
other liquid is allowed.
Coffee.
So you need to show something, and then please get your don't come without a baju and show your hair in your chest. All right, and don't tell that tomorrow Alama, I didn't have baju and all. It's, you have to still on your camera and show the coffee. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.
Right.
Thank you
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Love
Thank
you
you,
all.
everybody. Thank you.